everyone. My name is Calvin Banta from grade 6 Sound. Welcome to my video. In this lesson, we're going to learn what inverse proportions are and how we can use them to find unknown values. So first, what is an inverse proportion? An inverse proportion is when an increase in one quantity causes the decrease of the other quantity, or it is when a decrease in one quantity causes the increase of the other quantity. That is why it is called inverse proportion. Inverse means opposite. So if one quantity increases, the other decreases, or vice versa. The quantities in this kind of proportion oppositely affect each other. Inverse proportion is also called indirect proportion because it is the opposite of direct proportion. I have a question for you. Have you arranged your toys and noticed when you make more rows, each row gets fewer toys? That's an example of inverse proportion. I'll give you an example with a story problem. Jake loves collecting toy cars and has a fun way of organizing them. He wants to place his 60 toy cars into equal rows for display. If Jake arranges his cars in 5 rows, each row will have 12 cars. If he increases the number of rows to 10, how many cars will be in each row? He notices that the more rows he makes, the fewer cars each row will have. A perfect example of inverse proportion. It is easier for us to identify the relationship between the quantities if we put them in a table like this. So we have the column for cars per row and the column for number of rows. It is given if you arrange his cars in 5 rows, each row will have 12 cars. Now we are asked if he increases the number of rows to 10. How many cars will be in each row? Again, as Jake notices the more rows he makes, the fewer cars each row we will have. Now we will multiply the quantities on the same row to find the value of n. So that means we multiply 5 and 12 and 10 and n. So 5 times 12 equals to 60 and 10 times n is equal to 10n. And for us to find the value of n, we will just divide 60 over 10 and will give us 6. Therefore, if Jake increases the rows to 10, each row will have only 6 cars. Proportions are really important. If you want to understand how they work, you can use them to solve all sorts of real-world math problems. And the best way to understand them is to practice what you've learned in this video and working some problems by your own. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.